Alright guys, real quick before we begin, I want to bring up that I have a second channel for non-Pokemon What If content. So if you enjoy that sort of thing, feel free to head on over there after this video. Link is in the description. Also, remember to do all the YouTube stuff, such as leaving a like, dropping a comment, even if it's just a simple algorithm fuel, since that will help the channel reach more new people. And also, you can support the channel by becoming a channel member or by joining the Patreon for as low as $3 a month. With that, you can get a lot of cool perks, such as shoutouts at the end of every video, and early access to all of my content, along with any supporter exclusive stories I decide to do. Now, on to the story. We resume our tale right where we left off, with Alain's Charizard and Ash's Charmeleon being involved with a flamethrower clash, with Charmeleon being surprisingly able to hold its own against his evolution, although Alain tells Charizard to finish this, causing Charizard's flamethrower to completely overpower Charmeleon's, leaving Charmeleon close to fainting. Ash asks if his Charmeleon can continue, with the lizard giving its trainer a thumbs up, with Ash ordering his Charmeleon to use Dragon Breath once more. Alain decides to finish the fight and orders his Charizard to use Steel Wing and Dragon Claw in a combination move, allowing Charizard to Speed Blitz Ash's Charmeleon, knocking it out. Ash kneels down and congratulates Charmeleon on putting in a good effort, as he recalls Charmeleon. Alain approaches him and says that he put up a good fight, with Ash and Alain shaking hands, and promising each other that they'll battle again in the Kalos League. The twins and Karina say goodbye to Alain, with the three trainers leaving the Salage gym soon after, and heading back to the Pokemon Center for the night. The next day, the twins and Karina decide to head on to Shalour City, so Ash can get his third Kalos gym badge. The three trainers arrive on Route 10, with Ash's goal being trying to make his Pokemon stronger, with Karina suggesting to Ash that he should try training his Pokemon if he wants to best her grandfather, since her grandfather Gurkinn is currently the second strongest gym leader in Kalos, behind Wolfric. At Karina's suggestion, he decides to have his Pokemon train in groups, either to improve their moves or help them learn to cover their weaknesses. Ash has Charmeleon train with Frogadier to help Charmeleon deal with its water weakness, Skidoo with Helioptile, and Tyrant with Karina's Riolu. Frogadier begins the battle by charging up a Water Pulse, as Charmeleon prepares a Dragon Breath. Ash tells Frogadier to use his Frubbles to trap Charmeleon in place, with Charmeleon deciding to use Flamethrower to try and escape the Frubbles. Karina then walks over and decides to call her Mienfoo, telling Mienfoo to work with Charmeleon for a bit, so Charmeleon can try and learn Thunder Punch, which will allow it to deal with water types better. During this training, a wild Eevee is watching, and is impressed with all the training and wants to get in on the action, hopping up from its hiding spot and using a tackle on Ash's Charmeleon. Ash then asks the Eevee why it just attacked his Charmeleon out of nowhere, with Karina saying that maybe Eevee saw the training session and wanted to join in. Eevee confirms this and prepares for battle. Ash, thinking this could be a great opportunity to catch a new Pokemon for his team, and to let Charmeleon put its training for Thunder Punch to the test, the battle begins with Charmeleon and opening the battle with a Flamethrower, as Eevee dodges and manages to use Swift as it connects with Charmeleon, causing him to stagger back a bit. Ash orders Charmeleon to get in close and use Thunder Punch. With this managing to leave Eevee paralyzed, Ash throws a Pokeball, managing to catch the normal type and bring his team to 6. Our trio set up camp for the night, deciding to get back on the road to Shalour City the next day. The next morning, our trio gets back on the road to Shalour City, as Ash decides to scan Eevee with his Pokédex to learn what moves she can use, with Eevee knowing the moves Swift, Tackle, Bite, and Baby Doll Eyes. Serena then tells Ash that Eevee can evolve into 8 different forms: Vaporeon, Jolteon, Flareon, Espeon, Umbreon, Leafeon, Glaceon, and Sylveon. Our trio arrived near Geosenge town as the trio encounter a wild Hawlucha, with Karina sending out her Machop, with the girl ordering her Machop to use Focus Energy and Ice Punch, although the wild Hawlucha dodges and uses an Aerial Ace, which connects with Machop for massive damage. Karina asks Machop if he was okay, as Machop gets back up as it charges at Hawlucha again, managing to hit Hawlucha in the gut with a newly learned power-up punch. Hawlucha staggers back as Karina chucks a Pokeball on Hawlucha, catching it and increasing her team to 4. Our trio arrive in Geosenge town, where they bump into Rento, getting his Pokemon healed up, with Ash asking his rival how many badges he has, with Rento replying with 2. Ash then says they have to have the same amount then, as Rento asks Ash for a battle to test his skills, as Ash agrees and setting time for a battle the next day, allowing Ash to get his Pokemon healed up to make it a fair fight. The next day, Ash and Rento have their battle, deciding on a 3-on-3, with Karina serving as referee. Ash and Rento send out their first Pokemon, declaring, "Helioptile, I choose you! Kirlia, time for battle!" Ash's electric lizard enters the battle as Ash orders the lizard to use Bite on Kirlia, although Rento orders a disarming voice, hitting the lizard at point blank range. Helioptile gets back up and uses Thunder Shock, causing some decent damage to Kirlia. Rento orders Kirlia to fire off a Psyshock, with this almost knocking out Helioptile. Helioptile gets back up and manages to learn Parabolic Charge, hitting Kirlia for decent damage and restoring some health to Helioptile. Ash, seeing that Parabolic Charge worked, orders Helioptile to keep using it. However, Rento sees this coming and orders Kirlia to blast Helioptile with a Psychic, leaving Helioptile close to fainting. Ash recalls Helioptile and sends out his second Pokemon, declaring, "Frogadier, I choose you!" Frogadier comes out as Ash orders Frogadier to use Double Team as a distraction, allowing Frogadier to hit Kirlia with a rather powerful Water Pulse, leaving it confused. Ash tells Frogadier to capitalize on this and fire off multiple Water Pulses to knock out Kirlia and give Ash the lead. Rento recalls his starter and remarks that Ash has gotten stronger, even if it took 2 of Ash's Pokemon to beat one of his. Rento then calls out his second Pokemon, declaring, "Electrike! Time for battle!" with the Electric Canine coming out and using Thunder Fang on Frogadier, causing super effective damage. Frogadier stumbles back as Ash orders Frogadier to use Quick Attack and fire off another Water Pulse, although Frogadier falls to one knee as a bit of electricity surrounds it as a sign of paralysis. Rento tells Electrike to capitalize on this and finish off Frogadier to even the score. Ash then calls out his third Pokemon, declaring, "Skidoo, I choose you!" Ash orders Skidoo to use Takedown, hitting Electrike for big damage. However, Skidoo ends up taking a bit of recoil damage from it. Rento asks Electrike if he can continue battling, with Electrike getting back up and using Quick Attack, although Ash orders a Razor Leaf from Skidoo, with this being enough to finish off the Electric Canine, leaving Rento with one. Rento, knowing he needs to take Skidoo out of this battle, calls out his final Pokemon, declaring, "Fletchinder, time for battle!" Rento's final Pokemon enters the battle, as Rento orders a Flame Charge, connecting with Skidoo for big damage, causing a burn and Fletchinder's speed to increase. Ash orders Skidoo to use Synthesis to heal itself, and then to use Leech Seed on Fletchinder, allowing Skidoo to sap Fletchinder's health. Rento, thinking quickly, orders another Flame Charge, not only to increase Fletchinder's speed, but to also burn off the Leech Seed. This attack connects, managing to knock out Skidoo to even the score. Ash then calls back out his Helioptile due to it being his final Pokemon. Ash orders Helioptile to use Parabolic Charge, although Fletchinder uses Aerial Ace, managing to Speed Blitz Helioptile due to the extra speed gained from all the Flame Charges. Helioptile gets knocked out, making Rento the winner. Ash heads back to the Pokemon Center to get Frogadier, Helioptile, and Skidoo healed up before resting up for the night. The next day, our trio leaves Geosenge Town to make their way towards Shalour City for Ash's third gym battle. Our trio head on to Route 11, deciding to train their Pokemon along the way, with Ash's Tyrant managing to see some gains from this, managing to learn the move Dragon Tail. During this time, Serena ends up finding a wild Swablu that looks rather distraught. Serena notes that Swablu aren't normally native to this part of Kalos, so she decided to send her Fennekin to ask the Swablu what's wrong. The Swablu then explains to Fennekin that her family accidentally left her behind, so Serena offers to catch her so she can get back to her family. Swablu agrees to this as Serena throws a Pokeball, catching the flying type and increasing her team to 4. Serena then sends out Swablu and scans her with her Pokédex, discovering he knows the moves Safeguard, Peck, Disarming Voice, and Takedown. Our trio decide to spend the day they train their Pokemon, as during a training session with Ash's Frogadier, Serena's Riolu evolves into Lucario, managing to learn Aura Sphere in the process. Serena and Lucario celebrate the evolution and decide to call her grandfather as soon as they get to a Pokemon Center. They can let him know of the good news. Our trio head off to Reflection Cave, as Serena points out it's the quickest way to Shalour City. A few days pass as our trio arrive in Shalour City and reach the Pokemon Center, allowing our trio to get their Pokemon looked at. Ash asks Karina where the Shalour Gym is so he can get his third badge, with Karina pointing towards the Tower of Mastery, saying that the Shalour Gym is inside the tower and is also where she and her grandfather live. After getting their Pokemon looked at, our trio head off to the Tower of Mastery to meet Gurkinn, the Shalour City gym leader and Karina's grandfather, so Ash can ask him for a gym battle and get his third badge. Gurkinn ends up accepting Ash's request and agrees to a 3-on-3. Ash and Gurkinn head to the battlefield, as Gurkinn tells Ash to send out his first Pokemon, with the boy declaring, "Skidoo, I choose you!" Gurkinn notes the grass type and sends out his first Pokemon, declaring, "Blaziken, come out!" The ref orders the battle to begin, with Ash ordering Skidoo in for a takedown. Gurkinn counters by ordering a flamethrower from his fire chicken, with this causing massive damage to Skidoo. Ash orders Skidoo to retreat and use Synthesis, Although Gurkinn goes on the offensive, ordering a Blaze Kick and Aerial Ace combo attack, ultimately causing Skidoo to get knocked out due to taking 2 super effective attacks from Blaziken back to back. Ash recalls Skidoo and sends out his second Pokemon, declaring, "Frogadier, I choose you!" With Gurkinn saying, "A water type? That's a good choice to use against a fire type like my Blaziken." The battle resumes, with Ash ordering Frogadier to use Water Pulse, with Gurkinn telling Blaziken to kick it away and fire a Thunder Punch at Frogadier. Ash remembers the training that he and Karina did to help Charmeleon to learn Thunder Punch. So Ash tells Frogadier to remember that training. Frogadier was Charmeleon's sparring partner during the Thunder Punch training. Frogadier manages to dodge and fires back a powerful Aerial Ace, causing Blaziken to stumble back a bit from the super effective hit. Ash orders Frogadier to not let up and use multiple Water Pulses. However, Gurkinn tells the boy to not get overconfident, as Gurkinn tells Blaziken to deflect as many Water Pulses as it can, with Blaziken deflecting most of the Water Pulses, although Blaziken does take a few of them, causing massive damage, taking Blaziken down to 1 knee. Ash tells Frogadier to use Aerial Ace to finish off Blaziken, although Gurkinn tells Blaziken to use one last Thunder Punch, causing a double knockout, bringing Gurkinn down to 2, although Ash only has 1 Pokemon left. Gurkinn then calls out his second Pokemon, declaring, "Heracross, come out!" as the Hercules Beetle comes out. Ash calls out his final Pokemon, declaring, "Charmeleon, I choose you!" Charmeleon comes out as Karina says, "I know Ash is a strong trainer. For someone who only has 2 gym badges, but Heracross is one of Grandpa's strongest Pokemon, so Ash is definitely going to have his hands full for this one." Ash orders Charmeleon to use Flamethrower, as Gurkinn tells Heracross to block it with Mega Horn, then strike Charmeleon with a Stone Edge, almost knocking out Charmeleon in 1 shot. Ash asks Charmeleon if it can continue, but Charmeleon, not wanting to let his trainer down, gets back up, as Ash orders Charmeleon in with a Dragon Breath, with this managing to damage Heracross a bit. Gurkinn tells Heracross to finish this with close combat, as Charmeleon is left unconscious, making Gurkinn the winner. Ash recalls Charmeleon, telling him he did his best. Both Serena and Karina try to console Ash on his loss, with Gurkinn approaching the trio and telling Ash that if he wishes to best him in battle, he will need to utilize the power of Mega Evolution, and luckily, he knows a place that could help him called Mega Island, just off the coast of Shalour City, with Gurkinn saying to Ash and Karina specifically that the place is home to lots of Mega Stones. Gurkinn asks our trio if they want to go to Mega Island, with Ash declining for the time being, saying that he wants to go challenge the other Kalos gyms first, and then he'll take Gurkinn up on that offer. As the trio head back to the Pokemon Center for the night, and prepare to set off the Coumarine City the next day. And that is where I'm going to leave off the story off for right now. So what did you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to leave a like, drop a comment, even if it's just a simple algorithm for you. And also, you can support the channel by either becoming a channel member or join the Patreon for just $3 a month. With that, you can get early access to all of my content and even access to my supporter exclusive series, What If Ash Won the Johto League? Now remember, becoming a channel member or joining the Patreon is completely optional and is never, ever required, but is always greatly appreciated. Also, be sure to join the Discord, where you can ask me questions and even potentially get help in making your own content. Links are in the description. And with that, I'll get out of here. Peace.